to the town of Orangetown's Town Hall. I'm Andy Stewart, your town supervisor, and we're here on the very important occasion of the first meeting of the year, which we refer to as our reorganization meeting. And it's a special time, and we have some special presentations for you. And I want to get started with that as soon as possible. We're going to start it in the right way. So could you all please stand for the Orangetown Police Honor Guard's presentation of the colors. With that solemn beginning, I'd like you all to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag.
Present. Halt.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Halt. Order.
We are very lucky tonight to have the Nyack High School Advanced Chorus, directed by Drusilla Plowski. And the first presentation will be the Star Spangled Banner, arranged by Darman Meter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave, home of the brave.
Ms. Porowski, do you want to say a word or two about the group now or at your next? We're very lucky because we're going to have another song by this group in a few minutes. Thanks so much for coming out on this cold night. We have so much to be proud of and so much to celebrate, and we're so lucky to be here and have such a full house. The rest of the program is pretty much the same as it is every year. It's driven by a tradition of kind of recommitting ourselves to public service. And to do that, we invite some special people to join us. We'll have an invocation by Monsignor Nevin. We will swear in elected town officials, both new and re-elected. We'll retire the honor guard. We'll have another presentation by the chorus here. I will give a State of the Town speech, and we'll have remarks from the other members of the town board, and finish it out with a benediction from Rabbi Daniel Pernick. Or I shouldn't say finish it out, because we actually have one or two more important things after that. One of which is a short presentation by Orangetown's poet laureate, who's here with us. And we have Joe Durso, who's an amazing rock guitar player and singer, who is going to give us a special treat, which will send us out to the refreshments and a chance to socialize a little bit. And for anybody who wants to spend some more time with us, we'll have a few items for a town board agenda, a little bit of discussion before we finish up the night. So once again, thanks so much for coming out to join us, and I invite Monsignor Neffen to do what you do well. Thank you.
Let us pray. Most gracious God, from whom all powers come, we ask your presence among us this evening as we gather as a grateful people who enjoy many blessings that you bestowed upon our nation. As we contemplate our civil liberties and freedoms, we pause in a special way to celebrate our right to vote, to elect worthy men and women to represent us in public office, and to make decisions and take actions which are in our own best interest. We gather this evening as a people of diversity, coming from many ethnic, religious, and cultural backgrounds. Yet we profess to be one nation, trusting in your continued strength and guidance as we strive to do our best to meet the needs of all of our brothers and sisters, especially those who number among the most vulnerable in our community. In a special way, we ask your continued blessings and protection upon our uniformed emergency responders and upon all of our brave servicemen and women who serve both at home and abroad, especially those in our military and our local police departments, whose service may at times place them in harm's way. Finally, bless all who serve in elected office, be their helper and their guide, and inspire them as they daily perform their service to the people who elected them. May they be filled with wisdom, dedication, determination, and integrity as they give of their time and their talent. Help them to be just and upright in their thinking, honest in all their actions, and to work tirelessly to ensure the health, safety, and well-being of all of the individuals and families who live in our beautiful community of Orangetown. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Monsignor. We've come to the time in this program when we're going to swear in our local officials. And it's a special time, and some of us have brought family members with us, some just a few and some many. There'll be a little movement back and forth, maybe some picture taking. And we need our town clerk, Charlie Madigan, front and center for this to work right. So Charlie, if you could join me up here and take over, that would be fabulous. Since I'm the first breaking the ice on the swearing, and I'd like to invite my wife, Rachel. I think she came in, right? And is Jonah here to come on up here and join me? Thanks so much. And also just recognize that my father and mother-in-law, Lenny and Susan, are here tonight as well, among lots of other friends. So following orders. I, Andy Stewart, do solemnly swear that I will uphold the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
and I will uphold the Constitution
and I will uphold the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
and provide the duties
and provide the duties
of supervisor
of supervisor
to the town of Orangetown
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. So help me God. I think we're getting a picture. That's nice, thank you. Next up is Paul Valentine on my list, but Charlie, you just abandoned your post here. There you are. Charlie, do you want to sort of MC the rest of the swearing in, or do you want me to invite each individually? And I think you better stay standing here because they're going to need you.
You don't want me to sit by you and say you're in front of
And we might,
I'll do whatever you would like. Whatever's going to proceed.
so we've got Paul Valentine and then Jerry Batari, Charlie Madigan herself, Jim Dean, our highway superintendent, and Patrick Loftus for town justice. So let's get started with Mr. Valentine.
And I, please say your name,
I, Paul Valentine,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution
that I will uphold the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
and I will uphold the Constitution
and I will uphold the Constitution
of the State of New York,
and
I will conduct to the best of my ability councilman to the town of Orangetown. To the best of my ability, so help me God.
So tempted to fully bomb.
And Judge Finning did come in my office this morning and swear me in, so I was able to come and swear everybody else in. So the next one will be our Jimmy Dean.
Welcome to the zoo. Comes after room. Just lost us.
Look, here comes after room.
Oh, no. You got Desiree, you got School, you got Phil, you got Miss Dean, Debbie,
Why does he want, he wants me in this picture, but that's all right.
Got Mike. What's up, Mike? Got Paul over there. What's up, Paul? How you doing? Still go down to the city? It's brutal. Brutal. All right, this is a little better.
Really, it doesn't get any better than this with grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Come on, this is great. I think you might have written the Bible, but I'm not sure. I, Jimmy Dean,
I, Jim Dean,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution
that I will uphold the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
and I will uphold the Constitution
and I will uphold the Constitution of the State of New York,
and I will perform the duties
and I will perform the duties
of Superintendent
of the Superintendent of Highways
to the best of my ability.
for the town of Orangetown.
To the town of Orangetown. Can't do it all.
To the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Patrick? I know. Oh, he knows the thing is great.
I, Patrick Loftus, do solemnly swear
To uphold the Constitution
to uphold the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States of America,
to uphold the Constitution
and to uphold the Constitution
of the State of New York,
of the State of New York,
to perform the duties
and perform the duties
of judge
of judge
to the town of Orange.
to the town of Orangetown
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Thank you, Charlie. You know, anybody who's never actually been sworn in by Charlie Madigan hasn't experienced that look she gives you, which is a remarkable thing. And everybody I talk to who's been sworn in says the same thing, which is there's something about that look she gives you that you know it's a serious business and you better not mess up. So we appreciate all that she brings to her role. We wanted to, before we retire the honor guard, take a moment with the Police Chief Nulty's help to have a group photo with the honor guard, with the police chief, with all of our sitting elected officials who are here tonight. So, Chief, do you want to sort of line people up in the way that you think works best? Of course, we have the photographer from the police department. And figure it out. But anyway, guys, come on down here. It's a special request
Come
from
on
Chief
down.
Nolte and the honor guard to have a group photo with all the elected officials.
I think we could take a couple different things, you know.
That's why we have the,
Yeah, I think we'd like to do the town board.
we're ready to do whatever you tell us here.
Problem is Dennis Troy, he's too tall.
He's tall.
No, do you want-
That includes you. That includes Robert Simon, our receiver of taxes, as well.
We're waiting for direction. Chief.
Okay, yes. So we're just going to do the town board first. I'm not going to be in that photo either. And it's, Jim, just, we'll the elected officials. We'll do the town board first. Jerry, why don't you come up to the front, okay? Dennis, why don't you sit- Elizabeth, you just have to tell them. Now we get all our elected officials to one as best we can. Then they still the town board, right? Just 5 members of the town board. Just 5 members of the town board.
Guys? Thank you very much, Chief Nolte.
Individual pictures if you want to make.
Yeah, for $5 each, right?
She's getting ready for second.
So that completes the beginning of our program tonight. At this time,
Don't worry.
I would like to ask everybody to stand up while the Orangetown Police Honor Guard retires the colors.
Port, halt. Right. Coleman. Halt.
Thanks so much. As I said before, we're very lucky tonight to have a second performance by the Nyack High School Advanced Chorus. Let's see, I think we need to put that microphone back where it was.
Actually, I think it'll be fine out of the way.
We won't really hear unless it's okay. That's what I've been told anyway. If you really don't want it there, I can talk to our sound people and they can, is it in the way, it's in your way, isn't it? Yeah, just put it back there.
So my name is Drew Pluhowski. I'm the vocal director at Nyack High School. This is our advanced chorus, better known as the AD chorus. There are 4 vocal ensembles at Nyack High School. This is the auditioned group. This is the group that goes out and performs all kinds of different places in different venues and travels. We compete in festivals, and we're going to do another number for you tonight. It's called Berusa Air. What language is that? I'll tell you, it's Swedish. This piece was, it originated in a Creole translation, a Haitian Creole translation of 2 sections in the Bible, the Song of Solomon. And Stan Kelman, the writer and arranger, met with this gentleman in Haiti who translated these passages from the Bible, and he said, oh my gosh, I've got to set this to music. So he took it back to Sweden and set it in Swedish. It is about love and the intoxication of love. Berusa means intoxication or woozy from love. So that's probably all you need to know because the rest is in Swedish.
din kärlek är skjul, min syster och min bror. Din kärlek tjovar är min, din balsam tjovar är alla dofter. Din kärlek är skjul, min syster och min bror. Din kärlek tjovar är min, din balsam tjovar är alla dofter. Och sätt man dryper dina läppar min bror, din trogna jag när vårdar och mig. Sätt man dryper dina läppar min bror, i din lustgård där växer gröna träd med frukter. Änarna du så saffran, kanel och kalmus, ja där finns det kulor. I din lustgård där växer gröna träd med frukter. Änarna du så saffran, kanel och kalmus, ja där finns det kulor. Du har trädgården trädgården, vatten. Du är trädgården och kallt vatten. Berusa, berusa er av kärlek. 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 Jag såg med mitt hjärta var folket. För min beklädnad, min vän som för mig till er själva. Öppna för mig min syster, min älskade, min duva. Hör mig fuktig av dag, mina lockar våta. Droppar jag stiger upp fram. Öppna för min vän, mina händer dryper av myra. De fingrarna i det myra, och för mitt liv är att själva. Berusa, berusa er av kärlek. Berusa, berusa er av kärlek. Berusa, berusa er av kärlek. Berusa, berusa er av kärlek.
I hope you'll forgive us if some of our students leave. It is a school night and they have lots of work to do, so they'll leave discreetly. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you so much to the Nyack High School Chorus. Really a special contribution, and we thank you so much. So state of the town. I had some fun working on these comments. I hope you enjoy them. And I know, at least in part, in any way, I speak for many of our elected officials here and other folks who keep a close eye on the town. Before I go on, I just want to thank a couple of special people. Obviously, my wife Rachel and son Jonah and other family members who are here tonight. Monsignor Nevin and Rabbi Pernick for joining us and offering their spiritual blessings.
The chorus that we just saw out the door was such a joyous contribution. Thanks to Charlie Madigan and Kim Allen, my secretary, and others for pulling together this event and coordinating and both the agenda and some of the refreshments and so on. And the IT staff, Anthony and Matt, who are here. David Chilson, who's a volunteer, who's filming this from our little production room on the other side of Town Hall. Also want to thank and recognize Elijah Reichlin-Melnick, who's here. He's my assistant, and also Alan Riff, our deputy supervisor. Jeffrey Bensick, our finance director, isn't here tonight. He and his wife have a new baby, and they're traveling to see family. They'll be back soon. All of whom I'm reappointing as my special helpers for my term that I'm beginning now, the next 2 years. Finally, and I'll say this throughout my comments, thank you to our department heads and our town employees. All of us in Orangetown are so lucky to have such outstanding people working for the town. And thanks to folks out there, voters, and for trusting me with your votes and the rest of the town council to run this government in the interests of the public. I want to express my gratitude, and I'm sure the whole town council feels the same way, to our town workers and also to all the volunteers who serve on town committees, safety committee, recreation committee, traffic committee, the land use boards, all of which are necessary for the functioning of this town and for the partnership with the community. Through our combined efforts, we have saved millions of dollars. We have changed government in big and small ways. And tonight, we're rededicating ourselves to our mission of public service. It is truly an honor to serve. There are a few people here serving from other offices. I just want to recognize the representatives are here of our Assemblywoman Ellen Jaffe, our Congresswoman Nita Lowy. Let's see who else is here. Senator Carlucci, Senate Representative, and we have a couple of old friends in the audience. Ed Fisher, who's a former town councilman. His hand is raised over there. Much beloved in the town of Orangetown. And also we have Tom Kleiner, former town supervisor, with us tonight. So thanks for coming out. A special welcome to Jerry Batari, our newest member of the town council, and congratulations for winning an election. And also thank you for making the tough decision to run. With your vast experience with town, having been a police officer for many years, and your commitment to the community, I know that you'll make a great contribution to this town board. And thanks also to the other officials who have won re-election in the last year. That includes Superintendent Jim Dean, Councilman Paul Valentine, Charlie Madigan, of course, Justice Pat Loftus, and thanks also to Tom Moore, our outgoing councilman, for his 8 years of service to the town. All great people, all contributing in important ways. It's my job just to say a little bit about the town's accomplishments in 2015 and goals for 2016 as I see them. And as I think about boasting a little bit about the Orangetown team, I'm both humbled and inspired by what I'm seeing other local teams doing. To pick a few, starting with this wonderful chorus that was just here, talk about teamwork, from Nyack High School, really showing what people can do when they work together. Another example or two might be the Pearl River High School boys soccer team, which made it all the way to the final game of the New York State Class A state championship. The Nyack community groups who came together and created a skate park, which is an amazing new facility, takes teamwork. Another example might be the Lagana family, who run the U.S. Information Services out of Pearl River and have created a training school for future internet technology tradespeople in partnership with BOCES and the college and so on. These are examples of great teamwork and accomplishments happening all around us that I'm thinking of, and of course, both inspired and humbled by when we think about what we're doing right here in the town of Orangetown within our government. We are truly a community that's rich in history, but we're also rich in talent and teamwork, and it's true in town hall and outside. I believe our town government succeeds when it provides an ideal platform for all the members of our community to pursue their dreams. The platform we provide is the essentials: roads, public safety, parks, and services, and we manage them according to the principles of fairness, quality, and economy. All of us here on the town board in our town departments are passionate advocates for Orangetown. My particular interest tonight and what I want to talk about has to do with public works and public money, and give a little detail about a couple of projects which I think are important for everybody to know about. And I apologize now for all the many, many things that I just don't have time to talk about. In the area of public works, for 2015, just a couple of notes, our highway department finished replacing the century-old bridge on Oak Tree Road over the Sparkle Creek in the middle of Tapan. The new structure is safer for drivers and pedestrians, it decreases flooding, and we got a good helping hand from Assemblywoman Ellen Jaffe on that. And they've just put on some finishing touches in the last week or so it's great to see. 4 other important projects completed in 2015 were the county's new bridge on Oak Tree Road, the redesign of Route 303 in Blauvelt with the turning lanes, which makes it safer, resurfacing 65 streets by our highway department, and the relining of the aging and leaking sewer system in Nyack. Each one of these things is a story in itself, a story for another time. As far as things that are works in progress right now, and just a side note, one of my New Year's resolutions is to try to ride my bike to work as much as I can. And Orangetown is a great place for riding bikes, and will be even better in the year ahead as the state completes the J.B. Clark Rail Trail, that last section between the Orangeburg Library and the Blauvelt Library. It's an exciting project, and I've seen the bridge that's going to drop into place over the railroad soon, and with a little paving, we'll be on our way. We also got $100,000 with help from Senator Carlucci for a bike bypass trail around a very dangerous bit of Route 303 in Blauvelt, which is a great idea conceived by Councilman Valentine, and our highway department is ready to go on that when the season's right. In addition, the town is building a commuter parking lot on Route 340 across from the American Legion post next to the baseball field there. This will help free up parking in the downtown part of the Sparkill Hamlet and maybe lead to some improvements in that area around the park as well. The highway department's planning to resurface 79 streets in the coming year, and we have several major sidewalk projects underway. Of course, Route 340 by Stack, and 2 in Pearl River, one on Central Ave and one going up Middletown Road from ShopRite heading northward. On the east side of town, I'm very excited to report that the Tallman Pool in Tallman Park is going to open up again, and they've set May as an opening date. They are in a membership drive, and I'm happy to report, and this is a project that Ellen Jaffe has supported as well, the local businessman Billy Presida, the town residents will have the opportunity to have a 20% discount on memberships to the pool, along with emergency responders and employees. So it's great to see businesses and the community stepping up to reopen a facility that was essentially abandoned by the state park system, but much beloved here in Orangetown. One public works project I want to tell you a little bit more about is what I call the Homes for Heroes Drainage Project. And this is probably the one I'm most excited about in 2016, and I want everybody to know about it who doesn't already. And that is, it's planned for 6 acres of abandoned federal land adjacent to the Homes for Heroes Veterans Housing Project off Western Highway in Tapan. Once a part of Camp Shanks, this site is being redeveloped in 3 pieces: the town's drainage project, the Homes for Heroes Veterans Housing Project, and a new announcement as of several months ago is High Tor Animal Shelter will move there as well in an agreement with the veterans group. After mountains of paperwork, we received 2 big pieces of news. The federal government approved our request to get that 6 acres of land that the veterans group didn't need and wasn't going to be able to build houses on down near the railroad tracks. And we got the state to give us $895,000 to build our drainage project. What is that project? In a nutshell, is to rip up 20,000 square feet of old pavement, build stormwater facilities that will reduce flooding on the Sparkill Creek, improve the water quality, beautify a derelict site, create a walking path around it for use by neighbors. This project is epic, as I think the youth of today would say. It's treating stormwater runoff from about a 50-acre area in Tapan that comes across Western Highway and drains across the site to the Sparkill Creek. I want to thank and congratulate Jim Dean and Joe Moran and their staff, plus the town attorneys and our grant writer Sylvia Welch for helping make this happen. I also want to publicly thank the Honorable John Murphy once again for his leadership and cooperation as head of Homes for Heroes He realized the veterans could not use the 6 acres down by the rail line, and he saw the benefits of working with the town to develop it in a way that helps the watershed. He recently retired from the county legislature after a distinguished career of over 40 years, but he's very involved with this and many other projects, and we have a meeting planned for the next week or so. The relocation of the animal shelter and the completion of the veterans' housing make this a win-win-win scenario, and I think we should all be very proud of it, and we're looking forward to working on it. Now for a word or two about town budget. We all understand that every year we face this dilemma of finding savings and new revenues in order to avoid raising property taxes that are already among the highest in the nation. The town requires a certain number of skilled employees equipped with the right vehicles and supplies to protect public safety, provide sanitation, quality of life, to create that platform of essential things I mentioned earlier that makes possible all the wonderful teamwork by so many other groups. But personnel-related costs, salary and benefits, now absorb over 70% of our budget, and most of the remaining 30% are essential supplies and equipment, so our employees can do the jobs we hired them to do. This is our budget dilemma, and there are no easy answers. In 2015, we did see some key savings. Our finance department saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars working with the town board to get interest rates that are advantageous to the town when we bond for major capital equipment, and when we refinance bonds at a lower rate, saving a lot of money over the course of the bond. The new load shedding agreement pays the town about $100,000 a year just for turning on backup generators when the electrical grid is, really needs a little extra help if there's a heat wave or something. We need to run those generators anyway, and thanks to our engineering department for working with us on that and getting that agreement signed. We also hired a specialized auditor to review cable company and the franchise payments they give to the town, and found that they owe us a lot of money, so we're going after that. So these are the things we do. We don't want to leave any stone unturned, and there's always a lot more to say about that. The one topic I wanted to say a little bit more in depth about was our golf deal, which hopefully most people have read about or heard about or come to town board and participate in discussions about. But it took several years of debate and great deal of work by town staff to institute these new private contracts for the operation of the 2 town golf courses. And now that the contracts have been signed, we should take a minute just to remind ourselves again of why these decisions made sense. Here are the facts. Both Broadacres and Blue Hill have operated at deficits for years, running up a collective debt of $3.5 million to our general fund. That's the fund that we pay for other parks and all sorts of town services with. And this is despite the best efforts of town staff and the golf committee facing a tough golf market. After a thorough and competitive proposal process in 2014, the town chose a private company, Applied Golf, to run Broadacres. This change cut personnel costs, it boosted revenues, and brought some nice updates to the clubhouse and the golf course, and feedback from golfers is positive. The town is on track for significant savings over there in the coming years. In 2015, based on the success at Broadacres and our residents' demand to meet the tax cap, we requested bids to manage not only the pro shop at Blue Hill and the restaurant, which have traditionally been private contracts, but the operations, of course, maintenance as well. This has traditionally been a town function. After months of reviewing proposals and many, many discussions, the town board selected Applied Golf's proposal to operate the course and run the pro shop, and we signed a contract in December. And as for the restaurant, the town board is actively negotiating with possible new operators to get the restaurant up and running soon. Applied Golf has hired some of the current pro shop employees, and one town employee continues to oversee the course. All other town employees have either retired or moved to open positions elsewhere in town government where their talents are needed. There are no layoffs of town employees, but we did reduce the overall number of town employees, and we're saving money because of that. In both golf contracts, the town pays Applied Golf a fee to run the courses. We collect all the revenues, and as an added incentive for doing a good job over there, the contract set revenue targets for Applied Golf. If they come in over their target, we split it 50-50, and if they come in under their target, we split it 50-50. Both parties share in the rewards and the risks of running a golf course. I know that last weekend, about 100 rounds were played at the golf course. You know, when the weather's great, revenues are up. If there was snow over there, they'd be down. All the current equipment and facilities, as well as the land, of course, still belongs to the town. This golf deal will save the town about $2 million over 3 years, and it's money desperately needed for other services. This was not an easy project, and thanks are due to our personnel department, our town attorneys, finance, the CSEA, as well as the town council and the golf committee, all contributed to the process. I also need to give a special thank you to Eric Gorton, sitting in the back of the room over there, I believe. He's the head of our parks department, and he's just done an outstanding job through a very stressful process of change. He is the consummate professional. Eric, you and your staff do a great job caring for our park system and the many, many kids and adults who enjoy your fun program, so thanks so much for that. In conclusion, in my view, these golf deals were low-hanging fruit. They were budget projects. We lowered costs while enhancing the services for the public. In one way or another, we have to do this kind of thing over and over in big and small ways if we're to continue to provide such outstanding quality of life for Orangetown residents without exacerbating the already overburdened taxpayer. If you bear with my fruit metaphor for one more minute, we need to not only pick low-hanging fruit, and we've seen that that isn't even always that easy. We need to plant fruit trees or create projects that do bring in revenues. Here are a few areas of opportunity that I'll be working on in the year to come. We'll all be working on them in one way or another. That is, first of all, the redevelopment of the town's land at the Rockland Psychiatric Center, with an eye not only to environmental impacts, traffic impacts, and of course, and always, the tax benefits of appropriate development, but also on new revenue streams. We may also want to explore the possibility of building, and here's my big one, a new town hall. Most people who are familiar with this building know that the other side of it, the south side, is kind of old and decrepit, and the facilities management folks really keep it kind of patched together. But the town offices are spread out with the parks department and the building department, and one big building with consolidated staffing and with efficiencies in terms of heating and maintenance could be a real advantage. And that kind of goes hand in hand. We've had this discussion amongst the town board and anybody who's interested about the redevelopment of the Rockland Psych lands and the opportunities that creates for municipal facilities. Another thing is to promote clean and non-polluting business development at the Pfizer site now that it's been bought by IRG. And we actually have a meeting later this week to talk with the IRG folks a little more about what their ideas and expectations are for what kind of successful businesses to bring in. We also need to always stay alert to opportunities to use technology, labor-saving technology or labor productivity increasing technology, and use contracts wherever appropriate to avoid having to replace people when they retire. Sometimes you can do more with less. We also need to explore how to reduce our escalating utility rates, and there's two ways that I want to look at there. One is we're moving along a bit with, and that is obtaining ownership of all our streetlights, 2,700 of them. As a municipal-owned streetlight, O&R charges a far lower rate for the delivery of electricity, and if we convert them to LED high-efficiency bulbs, we'll have that much more savings in terms of how much energy we have to buy from O&R. So that project will be a priority. And with that, and with a smaller economic impact most likely, but there are some exciting opportunities in solar array development. We know Clarkstown has one on their landfill. And there's some interesting models, and we're going to be looking for places to put those. And it's actually possible to build a solar field of say, a couple of acres. And people who have homes who don't want to mess with their roofs or it's shady or just doesn't make sense for them can buy in to those panels and take advantage of the incentives the state has and the lower cost of electricity. And that can be a great thing, not just for the town government costs, but also for our town residents who we're really working for here. I just want to close by reminding all of us that local government is a partnership with the community, and it works best when everybody is involved in the process. So thank you to folks who are here tonight or people who are watching on TV. I hope you'll stay involved. Come to town board meetings throughout the year. As 2016 gets underway, I look forward to continuing to work with all of you and with my colleagues on the town board to keep Orangetown a great place to live, to work, and to play. It's time for me to turn the microphone over to my colleagues on the town board who may want to make their own comments about the state of the town or add to what I've said. I do wish you all a very happy and a healthy year. And after the town board members have their say, and we want to invite our other elected officials, I know Jim Dean in particular, but others to say what they would like to say from the podium. All right? So with that, I turn the microphone over to, you want to start on the left with Dennis Troy?
Thank you very much, Andy. I think Andy covered about just about everything. I crossed out some of my things I wanted to say. So what I do wish everybody a healthy and happy New Year, particularly to those here in the audience who came out tonight. And I want to congratulate all those that were sworn in tonight. And for 2016, I look forward to working with my peers on the town board. And I also want to particularly welcome Jerry Batari. And Andy said he had a distinguished career here in Orangetown Police Department. And he also graduated from one of the finest high schools in New York City, St. Raymond's. And it was great because there were terrific teachers back in St. Raymond's. So again, thank you all for being here.
You have a little bit of feedback coming from that one. Good. Go ahead. Okay, I'd like to start off by thanking, and I will be quick, as Chris Smith always tells me. But I want to thank my family, my wife, my mom, my son Jerry with his wife Kate, my granddaughter Adeline, my other son Christopher, and my daughter Caitlin. I see my cousin Michael is here as well, so thank you. I want to thank everybody. You know, I can go over and over again with names. Terry Hutmacher was a great help through the whole process. Pete Noonan, who is here, I'm not sure if he's here still, but Pat Ferroli is not. He was unable to make it. But it just keeps going on and on. Elijah, thanks for the lists. I'll thank you. Chris won't because the Hills killed him. But again, and just moving back to Chris Smith, there were times where I just wanted to just stop and go, but he kept pushing, and we made good friends. I will say that then I told Tom his persistence and art of persuasion goes to Tom Kleiner. I don't know how many calls I got. I don't know how many times we went through things and talked it over. Thank you for talking me into it. I think that it's a wonderful thing, and I'm looking forward to it. Just finishing up, I am looking forward to voting. I'd like to thank everybody that came out to vote. I think that we're looking to do things with the town. I know everybody here on the town board. I've worked with them in different venues and in different situations. I'm sure that we'll come and work out things remarkably. But again, now I guess it's time to roll up our sleeves and get to work. So we'll just end it there. But thank you all for coming out tonight.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. Is this on? Can you hear me? Yeah. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. It's a really bad night. It's the first one of the year of this whole winter, and we appreciate everyone showing up tonight. I'd like to congratulate Paul, Dennis, Charlie, Jim, Andy, Pat. Well, I'm going to get to Jerry. For most of you guys out there don't realize how arduous and how much you have to do to get elected to any position on the town government, and it's, everyone should be commended for running and putting yourself through this. Jerry, welcome to our little zoo. Congratulations. I know you'll do great things on this board. I listened to everything that Andy had to say tonight, and it's a lot of accomplishments. But I think that everyone on this board realizes that it begins and ends with the development of RPC and Pfizer. The way this town goes with those two developments. So we have a lot to work to do, and I'm looking forward to working with the rest of the town board this year. Thank you again.
Big Mike. I'd like to also thank everybody and wish everybody a happy new year. I'm honored and I'm humbled at the same time. I'm honored that the town residents came out and recognized the years of service that I put into my community and into my country. And I'm humbled that so many people came out and supported me during the election and voted for me. I had a great campaign committee, and it started with my family, and I could never thank them enough for their support and love and calming voices when I needed them, to keep myself in check many times when I wanted to go astray. So I want to thank you all very much for that. I also want to thank Tom Moore. He served this town with dignity for 8 years. He worked really hard, and I think he's a really good guy. And I want to congratulate Jerry for getting elected to the board, and I'm looking forward to working with him. I know Jerry for well over 26, 27 years as a friend, a neighbor, a fellow coach, and I know Jerry can roll up his sleeves and we'll get down to work, and he'll be good at what he does when he puts his mind to it. So I'm looking forward to working with Jerry. I personally think we have a great town. We have a really good, strong community. And I'm proud and privileged to be part of it and part of the fabric that makes it up. My goals for this year are to keep taxes at bay like I have for the last 4 years, and do my best to ensure that we stay underneath the 2% cap and even lower. You know, more public and private partnerships, as Andy was saying, and he went over the whole list of accomplishments that we have as a board, and there's some pretty good accomplishments. I agree with Tom also. Our big challenges and our big goals, not only are taxes, but RPC and the development of that, and the development of Pfizer to make sure that it's safe for the community, that it fits into our community, and that it doesn't change our community, because it really is a great community. I want to thank, for last night, the Blauville Fire Department and the Orangetown Police Department, as well as the Highway Department. There was a tree that came down on 303 almost across the street from my office. It actually burned down a few of the trees to help with the bike path because it caught the woods on fire next to my office. And the fire department parked their truck between my office and the trees and made sure that it stayed into the hillside and didn't cross the street and burn down my office. So I really appreciate that. We have a great community. The fire department, the police department was out there all night blocking Route 303 and making sure it was safe for the residents because there was very high voltage jumping around there in the woods as the transformers were blowing up. And the highway department got out there and put salt down. After the fire department finished, everything froze. So on that freezing night, we had first responders out there protecting us. And we should remember that they're a big part of our community, and thank them every day for the work that they do. So I look forward to my next 4 years. I think great things are going to happen. My job was not finished in the first 4. I plan on working diligently with the town board and Andy to make sure that RPC is built and built properly, and that Pfizer is protected and built properly. So thank you very much, and back to you, Andy.
That's right. It's so good to remember. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. And I know everybody has said Happy New Year, but I want to say from my heart to your heart, Happy New Year and a healthy New Year. I can't think of a better place to live, and I can't think of a better community to serve. So it is my honor and my privilege to serve everybody in Orangetown. I just want to say thank you for your vote of confidence. I appreciate it. God bless you. God bless our troops. God bless our police department, keeping them all safe. Here's to 2016. May we all be healthy, joyful, and helpful to one another. God bless you. Thank you.
Lawyer will take any opportunity to address a crowd, right? I want to echo some of the things you've heard. I want to thank the voters for re-electing me this year. It certainly is a privilege for me to serve the town. I'm happy to do it for another 4 years. A quick update on what's going on in the Justice Court. You know, I started my career in the DA's office many years ago, so I'm not a person who's shocked about what I find in terms of what's going on in the community. But I will say, I was very surprised when I started as a judge here at the extent of the problem in some of our communities, and really all of our community here in Orangetown, with drug use by our high school kids, in particular opioids and heroin. So one of the things, this is affecting normal families in the towns. One of the things that has happened in the recent past is that there's a special court in Rockland County, a drug court, that has been moved to Orangetown. The idea there is that when someone comes into drug court, typically they're young people, but not necessarily, where drug use is the cause of their problem, we have this program where we're not interested just in punishment. Of course, punishment is part of what we're doing there, but we're interested in rehabilitation as well. So that's just to update you on a small piece of what's happening in the justice court. Judges, by rule, are not permitted to participate or comment on political things, except when you're in the window of a year where you're running for election or re-election. So after this evening, I will fade away again for another 4 years. But I do want to take the opportunity to echo something that Paul just said, and that is commenting on the service provided by Tom Moore. I've known Tom, like Paul, for many years, and his loss, he was a tremendous asset to the town, and it is a loss that he's no longer serving on the town board. The excellent news for the town of Orangetown is that I've known Jerry for over 20 years as well, and he will also be a tremendous, tremendous asset to the town. So everything you've heard this evening really is focused on the 5 gentlemen sitting up front, and they're the ones who really have the job of maintaining our quality of life, and they really do, all of them, do a terrific job of it. I just want to echo the sentiments of everyone and thank them and wish them well in the new year. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. I've been told I have to speak into the mic, but I feel like I'm tied in with it, so we're going to try this. I want to reiterate what everybody else said. Thank you to the voters, especially in my case. I want to thank them for giving me an opportunity to continue as highway superintendent. I'm beginning my 10th term, so I've just finished 18 and my 50 plus years, 58 years finished up December 31st. So I'm headed towards 60, and I appreciate the opportunity of being given the honor of doing this. I'm very much involved in this team concept, and we've been trying to foster that in the highway department since early 2000, and I'm really glad that we can say that we are building a team. And I want to thank the supervisor and the town board for working with our team to provide the best kind of service that we can. We have a great department. We have dedicated, hardworking people that are there every single day, as Paul just said, and as the police department will mention, that when these emergencies, our people are there and they do a great job. And I have no doubt that's why I get reelected, because we have a really good group of 51 people in the operations part of the highway department that are there every single day with an idea of doing the best they can for the town of Orangetown. I want to congratulate Jerry and welcome. Worked with him for many years when he was in the police department, and I know that we're going to have a continued success working with our police department. Many people to thank. Of course, one of the most important for me is my family. They have always been with me. My wife Dottie is here. We just celebrated our 55th wedding anniversary, and she's been behind me and fostering me in my position as highway superintendent and member of the highway department for all those years. So, Dottie, thank you very much. Tomorrow she goes to Florida, so she gets away from the snow and ice and everything. But we'll be visiting, and she'll be back again. It was great to have my family here. A little history about holding the Bible. Matthew Bosco held the Bible for me this year. He just turned 18, and he and one of his cousins, this is the first opportunity they had to vote for me. Unfortunately, the other guy is going to Ole Miss, and he's down in Oxford, Mississippi right now, but I understand why he couldn't make it. But the interesting thing is, the first time I ran, my wife held the Bible for me. She held me up anyhow. But since that time, every time I've been sworn in, one of my grandchildren who just turned 18 has been there to hold the Bible for me. And a great thing tonight, the first grandchild that held it was here with his son. So I've got grandchildren and great-grandchildren here in Orangetown. It's a great place to live. I can't tell you how happy I am to stay at this job. And I have to thank God because he's blessed me with that family and with the ability to continue to do this job. Thank you.
Oh, please. Thank you, Bob. Rabbi Daniel Pernick. We'd love to have a benediction.
Why don't we all stand up and stretch a little bit?
Have a stretch.
Yes. So there's a well-known saying which I think actually began as a curse. May you live in interesting times. Now, we can all discuss and debate the reasons. However, there is no doubt but that we live in interesting times. Tonight, we welcome the officials who will lead the town of Orangetown into the future. We encourage them to always remember that what matters more than political affiliation, community of residence, or ethnicity is the well-being of the residents of the town of Orangetown. We all possess the potential to make our town, Orangetown, a better place. We realize that potential when we focus more on God's hopes and dreams for us rather than on the particulars of politics. May our leaders never forget that the words which they speak and the actions which they perform have real consequences. We are created in God's image. May we all act that way as we work together to maintain and to elevate the quality of life in our historic town. We in Orangetown are rooted to the past in oh so many ways. Yet like a tree, we strive to reach higher. Help us, O God, to grow by improving ourselves and our town, rather than by trying to tear others down. May we inspire one another to goodness and greatness, and working together, build a stronger town, our town, Orangetown. Amen.
We have a surprise addition to our program tonight. Right before Joe Durso is going to play, and that is our town poet laureate, Rosemary Racciopi. You're going to need to use the microphone. And she has written an original poem to celebrate this night.
Thank you. Indeed, indeed, we are Orangetown. The agenda, reorganization, Orangetown, 2016. Let it be the call to leadership. May we heed the grace and the guidance of each letter. A sounding petition. Leadership. To love. To the eternal. To aspiration. To divinity. To equity. To the revered. To spirit. To heart, to inspiration, to the power inherent in intention and service. We are Orangetown. Thank you.
I don't know if any musician kind of encapsulates the spirit of this town more than Joe Durso does. We're so lucky to have you with us tonight and willing to share your gift of music as you have on so many occasions, and with such great response, particularly at our 9/11 ceremonies, for one thing. You're much appreciated, so thanks so much for coming out. And when Joe finishes, I know you're going to do This Land Is Your Land. I don't know if you have anything else planned for us. There are some refreshments out in the lobby there. Yeah, whatever works for you.
I want to thank Supervisor Stewart and Chief Nolte for inviting me. And I do have to say, the next time I'm playing the Turning Point, Jimmy Dean's going to be my opening act because he brings in a crowd, that's for sure. So, I chose this song because I think it's one of the most important American songs ever written. It was written by Woody Guthrie. I had the pleasure of playing with Pete Seeger a bunch of times over the years, and it has very much the we the people feel of it. It has talks about the beauty of this country, but it also has the honesty about some of the folks who get sometimes left behind, and I think we only become a better society when we have less left behind. So here we go. As I was walking the ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. I roam and rambled, and I follow my footsteps to the sparkling sands of the diamond deserts. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. The sun comes shining as I was strolling, the wheat fields waving and the dust clouds rolling. The fog was lifting and a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And I was walking, I saw a sign there, and that sign said, no trespassing. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of the steeple, near the relief office, I see my people, and some are grumbling, and some are wondering if this land is still made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This This land was made for you and me. So you're gonna hear words you don't usually hear said in this room. Let's have a little sing-along for the last one. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Thank you. Thank you, Andy. Well, that was a fitting finish to our program. Thanks so much, Joe. I think that really kind of expanded what we're doing here, and it did it in a good way. So thank you for that. With that, I would like to offer the refreshments that are in the lobby. Anybody who wants to go out and enjoy themselves for a few minutes, please do that. The town board will be here for a little bit following the break, just to take care of some housekeeping on the town board agenda, things we do every year at the beginning of the year. So thanks so much for coming, and enjoy a little bit of social time, and then we'll be getting going here briefly with town business. Tom, if you see Charlie out there, will you grab him for? Can you get Charlie? Madigan?
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks for coming, Tom. You guys want to? All right, so we said a couple of these items. All right. Motion for official. Marriage officer. Valentine, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Yes, aye.
Why don't you do this one?
Official newspaper. Motion from Jerry Batari.
There we go, first one.
I'll second it.
Second from Troy, all in favor, say aye.
Wait a second, internal notes.
All right, Charlie. Banking depositories. I'll make a motion for that. That's Morgan Chase, Niagara, TD. Do I have a second? Jimmy, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Did we do 3 and 4?
We just did, yes, we did. Jerry moved the official newspaper,
We didn't do 4.
and I just did the banking depositories.
4, okay. So
That
now,
was,
No, you got 5.
5 is 1 as well.
Different ones.
yeah, we're going on to 5 now, right?
Mr. Sterling.
We all have the same agenda, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you got, Tom, you have an old version. It was changed, like at 5:05 or something.
Yeah, never, always use the most. So number 5
It's done.
is.
On page
receiver
2.
of taxes, banking depositories.
Yeah, so moved.
Troy, second for myself, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 6 is registrar of vital statistics, Charlie Madigan.
Move.
Move from Divany, second from Jerry Vitari, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Number 7 is reappointing the Records Management Officer. Move from Divany, second from Valentine, all in favor say aye. Number 8 is reappointing Records Access Officer. Divany moves it, I'll second it, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Number 9 is reappointing Vital Statistics of Teresa and Rosemary.
I can't hear anything either.
Yes. I apologize. I don't know what.
Do you have you don't have?
Oh, wait.
You don't have
Okay,
your
can
mic.
you hear better now? Okay, sorry about that. I should have noticed the little light wasn't on there. Everything's on the agenda, and we've just done housekeeping votes related to marriage officers, official newspaper, banking depositories, and a couple other deputies in the clerk's office. Number 9 is reappointing the deputy secretary, registrar of vital statistics, Teresa Pugh and Rosemary Majorano.
Moved.
Moved from Divany, second from myself. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Number 10 is reappointing our town attorneys, John Edwards and Teresa Kenny, for the years 16 and 17. I'll make we
move
got
that.
Troy with the motion, second from myself. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Number 11, this is updating the town's procurement travel policy for reimbursement for mileage on cars. I'll make a motion for it to hear a second. Yep. Over here from Vitari, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
It's all routine stuff. Number 12, this just came in today, but there's a little bit of a deadline on it. It's training for the officers for DARE instruction, and they would appreciate it if the town board acted on this tonight. And I have a motion from Paul Valentine, second from myself. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. So Dan Ryan, Brandon Myers, and Elizabeth Muckle are going to go to the DARE training. Now, the question is, what else do we need to talk about, which needs to be done tonight, as opposed to something that might be done on Tuesday next week? There's a couple of items that are possibilities. One of them has to do with the restaurant at Blue Hill. And that's a legal counsel executive session item, am I right? All right. Would the town board be all right with going into executive session to talk about, to get counsel from our legal team?
Yeah, just make it quick.
Okay, so motion for executive session from Dennis Troy.
Why don't you come in, we're gonna come back out and vote?
I don't know if we're gonna have anything to vote on.
Well, if you're not gonna have anything to vote on, why don't you do the adjournment?
Okay,
and
good point.
then we'll go to the executive session.
We'll do the adjournments, and as we usually do at the end of a meeting, if we have to go into executive session, so folks know that we're wrapping up, and there won't be any actual voting following the executive session. It's just a chance to talk with the attorney about. So this is adjourning the meeting in memories of, help me out with the pronunciation here, James Braden, Peter Gianta, Albert Jordan, and Lillian LaPlaca. And the names of these 4 town residents who've passed away, we will adjourn this meeting.
James Braden was in high school with me. We played on the soccer team together. He was an all-state soccer player. He played for Ithaca College. He was my roommate when I was up in Boston for law school. He was 46 years old. He's survived by his father, James, his mother, Agnes, his wife, Jennifer, his 2 children, Jessica and Ellie, and his sister, Ann, brother, Ed, and his other sister, Mary, who all grew up in Pearl River. James was an amazing soccer player, easygoing, fun-loving guy, and it's just unbelievable that he's gone. Had a lot of great times with him, and he's going to be missed.
Tom, thank you for those words.
I'm sorry.
That is truly sobering. Right, each family receives a letter of condolence from the town when we adjourn in their memory. Any other comments from town board members?
Peter Gianta is the father of Barbara Gianta, who served here for many years as in the town attorney's office, did a great job there. Son-in-law also came out of the DA's office, and again, depending on how you look at it, also a young man. You know, it's a loss to the family. So.
And we're also including Albert Jordan and Lillian LaPlaca here. I'll make a motion for adjournment. Do I hear a second from Tom Divany? All in favor, say aye. But that adjournment is pending an executive session with our town attorneys about
Are we going?
contract negotiations.
Where are we going? Down the hall?
Well, there's a room right here, actually.